Many Filipinos have spent years, sometimes even decades, working hard and building lives in foreign lands. They've left behind families, embraced new cultures, and contributed immensely to the countries they now call home. But despite their dedication and sacrifices, many of these Filipinos have faced deportation, often due to immigration issues, overstayed visas, or changing political climates. But here's the twist: some of these countries are now realizing just how much they relied on Filipino workers. The loss of these skilled, dependable, and hardworking people has left entire industries struggling, and governments are starting to regret their decision to send them away. In this video, we'll explore 7 countries that now wish they hadn't deported so many Filipinos, and why. From healthcare to construction, agriculture to technology, the Filipino workforce has left a mark that's hard to replace. Before we dive in, let us know where you're watching from, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss stories like this. Number 1. United States. The United States has always been a top destination for Filipinos seeking better opportunities, especially in the healthcare sector. Thousands of Filipino nurses, caregivers, and medical professionals have helped fill critical gaps in hospitals, nursing homes, and clinics. However, due to strict immigration enforcement, visa overstays, and shifting policies, many Filipinos were deported or left in legal limbo. The impact on the healthcare system was immediate: staffing shortages in hospitals, long waiting times for patients, and increased burnout for remaining workers. The pandemic made this even clearer. Without the Filipino workforce, the U.S. struggled to keep its healthcare system afloat. The shortage of nurses and caregivers became a national issue, leading to calls for comprehensive immigration reform. Many officials and employers now admit that the deportation of skilled Filipino workers was a mistake that weakened the country's resilience and capacity to care for its people. Number 2. Italy. Italy has one of the oldest populations in Europe, and the country heavily relies on caregivers and health workers to look after its elderly citizens. Filipinos, known for their compassion and work ethic, became the backbone of Italy's elder care and domestic work sectors. But as Italy tightened its immigration policies, many Filipinos were deported or forced to leave. Families suddenly found themselves without trusted caregivers, and nursing homes struggled to fill the gaps. Hospitals and home care services also felt the pinch as the healthcare system faced staff shortages. Italy quickly realized that the contributions of Filipinos were not just valuable. They were essential to keeping society running smoothly. This sparked conversations about creating more pathways for foreign workers and rethinking the strict deportation policies that had left so many vulnerable Italians without support. Number 3. Japan. Japan's economy faces a unique challenge. An aging population and a declining birth rate have created a serious labor shortage. Filipinos have stepped in to fill vital roles in healthcare, manufacturing, and hospitality, helping keep Japan's industries afloat. But despite their importance, Japan's notoriously strict immigration policies led to the deportation of many Filipino workers, often for minor visa violations. The impact was swift and severe. Hospitals lost experienced nurses and caregivers, factories struggled to maintain production lines, and hotels couldn't keep up with demand. Japan soon realized that it couldn't afford to lose these workers. Their skills, dedication, and ability to adapt to Japanese culture were irreplaceable. This realization has fueled debates about immigration reform and more inclusive policies to attract and retain Filipino talent. Number 4. Taiwan. Taiwan's booming manufacturing and agricultural industries depend heavily on foreign workers, with Filipinos being among the most trusted and reliable. They've played key roles in electronics assembly, factory work, and even caring for elderly residents. However, strict immigration enforcement led to the deportation of many Filipinos, often due to overstaying work permits or visa violations. The result? Production lines slowed down, agricultural harvests faced delays, and employers scrambled to find replacements. Taiwan quickly felt the economic pinch. The absence of Filipino workers disrupted supply chains and threatened the country's competitiveness in the global market. Recognizing their indispensable role, Taiwan has since started revising its immigration policies to better support and retain skilled Filipino workers. Number 5. South Korea. South Korea's rapid industrial growth has created a constant demand for skilled and semi-skilled workers. Filipinos have contributed greatly to manufacturing, construction, and even the country's burgeoning technology sector. But deportations, often due to documentation issues or overstayed visas, left factories and construction sites understaffed. Production targets were missed, costs rose, and some projects even had to be delayed. In the technology sector, Filipino programmers and IT support staff proved difficult to replace, affecting innovation and growth. South Korea soon realized that its economy couldn't function smoothly without Filipino workers. Employers began pushing the government to create more flexible and fair immigration policies that would allow these workers to stay and continue contributing. Number 6. Malaysia. Malaysia's economy thrives on agriculture, especially palm oil, and construction industries that have relied on Filipino labor for decades. Filipinos have also been key players in hospitality and domestic work, filling roles that locals often avoid. However, Malaysia's push to crack down on undocumented workers led to the deportation of thousands of Filipinos. Suddenly, plantations faced harvest delays, construction projects slowed, and hotels and households struggled to find reliable staff. The economic hit was undeniable. Malaysia's reliance on Filipino workers became crystal clear, and the government began exploring ways to regularize the status of these workers, ensuring they could continue to support the country's growth. Number 7. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's booming economy, built on construction, oil, and healthcare, has long depended on Filipino workers. From engineers and nurses to domestic helpers and skilled laborers, Filipinos have been essential to the kingdom's development. Yet, strict labor laws and issues with work permits led to the deportation of many Filipinos. Suddenly, hospitals lacked nurses, construction sites fell behind schedule, and households were left without the trusted domestic help they had come to rely on. Recognizing the economic impact, Saudi Arabia began to rethink its approach. Officials acknowledged that Filipino workers were not just replaceable labor, they were skilled professionals who contributed immensely to the kingdom's progress. Efforts to improve worker protections and create more pathways for legal employment followed, reflecting the country's growing awareness of how crucial Filipinos were to its success. The lesson is clear: deporting skilled, hardworking Filipinos isn't just a political decision, it's an economic gamble. Countries are discovering that without these dedicated workers, industries suffer and economies falter. Filipinos have proven time and again that they are indispensable to the countries they serve. So next time immigration policies come up, let's remember, these are more than just workers. They're the heart and soul of industries worldwide. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments if you've seen the impact of Filipino workers in your country, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories that matter.